Well, a very good morning to you all from myself, Colette O'Neill, and my beautiful Patsy here at the Cottage. This short video begins to explain, I think anyway, begins to explain what the project is about on a very deep level. I hope you enjoy. What I propose is my own explanation of quantum entanglement. Well, I'm probably going to flummox you this morning because what I wanted to talk to you about, which I think is very pertinent considering the age we live in, is something called quantum entanglement. Some of you may be familiar with physics and metaphysics and quantum physics, but this particular aspect of physics, which is quantum physics, and in particular, again, quantum entanglement, is really what the Bealtaine project has been based upon. And let me see, how do I put this? Something that Dr. Vandana Shiva said. She said, between the observer and the observed, there is no divide. And that's really the basis of understanding quantum entanglement, that everything is connected. Now, all of you understand that everything is connected, and that was my first understanding of when I started the Bealtaine project, that everything was connected, and everything is connected. And again, a quote from Vandana Shiva, finding joy in oneness. And I've often thought about the fact that, you know, when I come out here in the morning, as I'm doing now, that my heart is filled with joy. And it is literally in my gut and being transferred to my brain. And this joy is, how do I describe it? It's almost like a drug. You know, it's like the highest high one could possibly get. And there are no drugs. It is the energy. It is literally the energy coming from Mother Earth. Now, part of the explanation for this is something called consciousness. And this is, again, a theme that I've talked about for years. And I've been on social media now for 15 years or something like that. But I've been writing about this, talking about this. A lot of the pertinent stuff would be over on my website. But consciousness in itself is oneness. It is understanding that there is a universal consciousness which is actually fundamental. It's fundamental to our spiritual and our physical world. And again, going back to that same very simple theme, everything is connected. We are not apart from nature. Oh, absolutely not. No, we are so grounded and rooted in it, and so much happiness comes from it, and so much unhappiness comes from being disconnected from it. There are so many people who are disconnected. It's actually frightening. And those who are disconnected have an urge to destroy. That's something which I feel is very relevant as well to the whole notion of quantum physics. So to put it into an historical perspective, for the past 300 years or so, since the beginning of the Industrial Revolution, we've had this sort of 300-year experiment with what is called mechanistic violence. If you go back before the Industrial Revolution, which isn't that long ago really, we're talking about 300 years or so, so you go back to your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents' day, and life was totally different. It was very, very, very connected to earth cycles, moon cycles, sun cycles, everything that allowed us to be part of the natural world. So how has this 300-year experiment with mechanized violence, the constant extracting everything from the earth, extracting, taking away, not replacing anything, having a kind of a finite approach even to farming, to growing, to the forests. Everything has to be of monetary value, otherwise it's worthless. That sort of approach. How has that turned out? Well, I'll tell you how it started. Kind of more or less how it started, or certainly was in the early days of it. There was a very famous scientist called Descartes, and that's Descarte, Descartes. And Descartes believed in the kind of robotical, mechanistic universe, that basically nothing really had feelings or emotions, and especially animals. Animals didn't suffer any emotions at all. They weren't connected. And this has really been the kind of pattern that we've followed ever since Descartes. But one of Descartes' most, I suppose, gosh, it must have been an influential experiment, because so much of the organised world followed him. He delivered an experiment that dissected a living dog in order to prove that the universe is mechanistic and has no soul. And the Descartes version of science prevails to this very day. I mean, I can reference factory farming, for example. So how has that turned out? Well, I can bring that right forward to today. I'll tell you how it's turned out. It's now evolved into a transhumanist experiment. That's the evolution that we have today. So we're now trying to bring forward AI, robots that will, I suppose, in the end, take over. I mean, that's the ultimate experiment, isn't it? And all of this is leading us step by step away from Mother Earth and nature and consciousness. And you see, consciousness exists in nature. It's everything is connected. And when it comes to quantum entanglement, all life is entangled. And consciousness itself, interestingly enough, really starts in the gut. So what you eat forms part of that, which is transferred to the brain. And this is probably the reason why I feel so elated and so energetic when I'm on a juice fast, or when I'm eating really good organic food, and food that's grown locally. Because if consciousness begins in the gut, then the health of the soil is entangled with our gut, isn't it? Anyway, that's really all I wanted to say on that. So yesterday I was working away here, potting up the birch trees. I thought I'd put them into big pots and, give them a little kind of a nursery experience. I can keep my eye on them and monitor them and decide when is best to plant them out. And I've been repotting other plants. So this beautiful Pieris is now in a big, big pot, can stretch her roots all over the place. And this, the name evades me. Can someone please post what the name of this beautiful shrub is? It's the one that's so heavily scented in the winter. Yeah. Go up here and I'll show you the rest of my endeavours. So there's another little tree which is half potted up, little birch. Now, I've potted up the chives into a great big pot, so no doubt they will start to really grow and, become a bit more substantial. And this little acacia, I've repotted that. Yeah. Oh, and the rhododendron. I put that into a great big pot here. That should do it certainly for the next year or so. Yeah, I think that's going to look lovely. Oh, it's such a beautiful morning. There has been a frost, so it's cold, but quickly warming up. Yeah. So I'm going to continue my work here, enjoying the day that's in it. Look at that beautiful sky. I mean, I just feel so blessed at the moment. The weather is so beautiful, and it's just helping me too with my juice fast, because I just want to be outside working and planting and, just with Mother Earth. So I'd love to read some of your comments on today's video, because I have been thinking a lot about quantum entanglement, and it's something that I have spoken about, for a very long time. And yeah, I feel it's something that should be more in the public domain, speaking about, rather than just confined to scientific talks and podcasts. I feel that the Cottage itself, the land here, is the result of understanding quantum entanglement and trying to be one with Mother Earth. Just going to go around the front again, because again it's such a beautiful morning, and I just want to show you the way the trees are picking up the colour. The colours, look at this. The exquisite beauty of Mother Earth. I mean, it's... Sometimes it makes me want to cry. Not with sadness, but with inexplicable joy. Anyway, blessings to you all, and have a lovely day, have a lovely weekend. And like I say, I do read all the comments. And oh, by the way, my juice fast is going spectacularly well. This is day 6. Yeah, I started on Monday, Tuesday, day 6. Lots of energy, feeling very connected, feeling very defogged. My brain has been defogged. Yeah. And I do feel much closer to the environment that I'm in. Blessings to you all. One once surrounded by bare rushy fields and now enclosed by woodland, Cottage has been 20 years in the making and the best task I have ever undertaken. I'm recognised by the Irish government as a writer and therefore have been accredited artist status. My first book, A Cottage in 3 Acres. My second, In Search of the Goddess Rising. My third, Walking Between Worlds. And 2 booklets, The Cottage Guide to the Deep Midwinter and The Celtic Festival of Immock. All books can be purchased through my website and there's a link beneath each and every video. I will be posting a link into the comment section also. You can hear me read the first 2 chapters of my book, A Cottage in 3 Acres, over on my website, bealtonacottage.com. Again, there's a link beneath each and every video.